Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let's see. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, one, two, three. I think we're good. All right, yes. That is very good. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Hello to. I'm going to scroll all the way back because I know. Oh, let's see. Who started off today? Virginia Carvalho, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Sonia Johnson, uh, Shelly L, Alina, let's see, Lydia Washington, Joan Garcia. Oh, you know what, guys? I got some stuff. Oh, let's see. I got some stuff for my coffee pot yesterday. I got anyway, I am gonna put that together for tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you a picture of some of the gifts that I got from the Squaddies on my wish list, and I thank you all so much for that. Um, I even got somebody else's gift on my wish list, two of them, but that's for sensitive ears only. But hello, official Lauren Brown. Hello, Carolyn Soares, Brenda Gray, Lottie. Since we're starting a little bit late, and today is call-in day for Duchess of Success, I'm going to see if I can get out of here within an hour and a half because I think she's on in an hour and a half. But she may change that time, but we'll keep an eye on it. Hello, Annie Bullard. Let's see. Oh, Lydia's posted my wish list. Well, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, I'll share that. I have to admit though, you guys, I am a little embarrassed and very spoiled. Oh man, it's like Christmas has come early. I'm having too much fun with that. But let's see. I'll go ahead and post that. I mean, since you brought it up, not me. Go ahead and post that. I mean, since you okay, there was a little echo there. I do apologize for that. All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna put it up there as I grin. Oh man. Okay. All right. Thank you, Lydia. All right. And is that working? Yes, it is. All right. Very good. Very good, you guys. Well, yesterday had we had a lot of fun yesterday. I know I did. And oh, let's see. There we go. Lorna Castellanos, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Baron, welcome home again and again. We love you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I love you guys. And I promise you, this is like my favorite thing in the whole day is talking to the squad. If I'm not doing this, then my day is kind of weird. I used to be like that about exercise. Hopefully, one day I can do both. If you've ever been on a regimen and you've had that fanatical daily exercise, you understand what I'm saying. But yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And as always, thank you for being a member and for watching Royal Sussex. Yes, I was just talking about you. Yes, don't forget, you guys, it is call in day on Duchess of Success. So I think I'm gonna troll over there today. I'm gonna troll over there today. I hope you don't mind. And Lauren Brown, thank you for the super chat. Hope you are well, Baron. And Mods accidentally uploaded two videos today because my code has me all mixed up. But how about the Netflix trailer? I love the Netflix trailer, and I'm gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna watch your videos this evening too while I am making myself some dinner for certain. So yes, but you know what, official Lauren Brown, I have to tell you, I took my fifth vaccine, and I don't feel sickly, but I'm tired and my body is so actually, I'm not so tired like I would normally do after a vaccine, but I just feel kind of like, oh, I don't even know how to describe it, but um, usually it lasts for about 24 hours. This one is like going into a little over 24 hours, but almost 2 days, I guess. So anyway, I'm glad I took it. It's better than having a lungs that feel like they're full of glass. When I heard that, I'm like, give me whatever y'all got. I'll take it. I don't ever want to have to suffer through something like that. And knock wood, I've only been tested one time, but I don't think I've been exposed at all. So I'm blessed. But anyway, thank you so much, Lauren Brown, and thank you for being a member. And we will all make sure we check out your new uploaded videos. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And Leona Brown, thank you for the super sticker. Happy Friday to you, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and many happy returns of the day. All right, let's get into it then, shall we? Here we go. And to all the rest of you, greetings. I'm sorry I didn't get to you guys, but there's so many. But and grinning and grinning and grinning and grinning and grinning and grinning. Oh my God. Remember, I used to do that on those edited videos where I would have, anyway, that is so funny. If I could dig one of those out, I would like to make a short video about her grinning and grinning and grinning. Okay, so um, this is where we left off yesterday. Now, that may be the Princess Diana tank watch from the jewelry collection that was left to Prince Harry, or as always, when ironically and coincidentally, when Meghan first made big money, her first big treat to herself was to buy herself a tank watch. And so, as far as I know, she has one in white gold and, of course, the yellow gold, which was Princess Diana's. Or is it vice versa? Well, anyway, I love that connection. And so, anytime I see that watch, instantly I feel that connection. So, I'm guessing from this scene right here, during the production of their up and coming docuseries, they must have had, say, an interview with the director or the whoever the filmmaker is. It may have been her, or it may have been someone else. I don't know whose voice that is in this clip from the docuseries trailer, but oh my goodness, I tell you, that has really pulled us all into this. As a matter of fact, it has pulled some people and pushed other people right out of the limelight, meaning, of course, the Welleses, or yeah, I guess we should call them the Welleses. They have been kind of pushed out of the limelight, and they're not going without a fight. Actually, they don't really have a fight in them. They are having a proxy um, battle with the Sussexes for the limelight. Now, I'm going to just say this. I don't know Harry and Meghan has any say about when or how the trailer drops. I don't know that they have any input, and people in the business know better. But of course, it's always easier to blame the Sussexes. Um, we don't know if this was the intention of Netflix before the Cambridges made their schedule known about their trip to Boston, or after. We really don't know. But nobody is going to give the Sussexes the benefit of the doubt besides people who love and trust the Sussexes like us. And then, of course, people who casually follow anything to do with that family. But we really just don't know. And so, I'm going to say this. If they did it on purpose, I'm with them. If they did it without their knowledge, I'm still with them. I say so many times, sometimes you have to take the fight to the enemy, and they are literally fighting for their lives. And even as I'm saying that, they're still fighting for their well-being. They are the ones that are stuck in the corner against this huge institution of the royal family, the tabloids, and much to my dismay, increasingly the American mainstream media, which is why the Sussexes said some time ago, we're only talking to well, let's see, not the mainstream media, but how do they put it anyway? They're independent press. They're only dealing with the independent press because the mainstream media, you really cannot trust them. They will let the Sussexes um, story go a couple steps forward and then try to push them back a mile every single time. And I'm so tired of that um, from these networks. And that's why I told you guys, when you watch a panel of people on any of the morning shows, hello, Elaine Parker, or any other program, just bear in mind that these people are having lines fed to them in their earpiece. They have talking points that are presented to them first thing in the morning. They are not speaking or acting independently. However, the amount of shade that they throw, oh, that's all that person. And so when you see them twist their face up with that, oh, the Sussexes are misbehaving again look, that is something deeply personal as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's a way to do anything. One of the reasons why Larry King was so successful is he rarely chose a side, he just presented the information. And a lot of people criticized him for that, for not taking this person to task or taking that person to task. But God, do I long for the days when there wasn't an editorial or there wasn't any of these theatrics mixed in with a news report or an interview. But nowadays, that's all you get. So you can never actually know when you have an honest broker. It takes a lot of time before you find someone that is truly impartial and, of course, being extremely fair to everyone, or even most people for that matter. Of course, we're humans, we all have bias, but some of us display it more than others. And then, of course, there is just the plain negative narrative that is actually fed to them from the various houses of Windsor. And of course, from there, it is filtered right down to whatever morning show or talk show in the US. And that is a problem. So that's why we have to stay alert. We have to, of course, save all receipts, because it's one thing when they do it, but it's a whole nother story when we have the proof that the narration has changed since the first time it was brought up. We have to do that because there are people that tune in to the content creators on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. And maybe they just want more information. And let's hope that when that happens, that they will come across someone in the squad. I mean, a real squatty that is, there with the information, there with the facts, there with the receipts that can help dispel all the rumors and the lies and such that are piled up against the Sussexes day after day. And it's painful to see that happen. It really, really hurts to see um, people that otherwise I didn't care much about one way or the other, but I'm like, oh, they're on the morning show, they're doing their job, only to find out that they are capable of this horrendous bias at the drop of a hat. I'm like, God, is that how you got that job? John Newbold, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. And Shelly L says, I'm thinking they had it scheduled way back. Frickin' Frack came before. I'm sorry, Frickin' Frack came. I'm also thinking the royal family found out when Netflix was releasing and then scheduled their trip. Shelly L, you know what? There's no reason why that could not be a possibility because um, one of the things that they are hoping to do from this trip is to have some charm offensive. I mean, let's just say it. They could have gone to any place in the Commonwealth for this event, any place. But they chose to come to the United States because they're trying to hitch their wagon to U.S. Backing, financial backings. They're trying to uh, make this connection between the British royalty and, of course, the implied so called Kennedy American royalty. I mean, it literally says that on the one of the tabloids, or a couple of them are using that royalty meets royalty. That is a very powerful image. If they could get the Kennedys on board with them, they'd like that because it helps to sell them to the US. So um, it is a possibility that in order to try to blunt whatever instruments that the Sussexes were going to introduce, um, you could have this scheduled at this time so that as the Sussexes, I mean, because they seem very well prepared to counter the Netflix trailer. They seem very well suited to that, but then it doesn't take them much time to mobilize anyway, because I mean, face it, the tabloids are really made for this type of confrontation, or hate campaigns, if you will. So it doesn't take much to draw that out of them. However, yeah, you are so right. They could have created this schedule with the idea that, oh, Harry's book is coming, and perhaps the Netflix something is coming. And so let's put them out there this time of year so we can make sure that we can put on the charm offensive and to show them what real royalty is, because it is so important to the Windsors that Americans are sold on this fairy tale. And there is an audience here. Obviously, there is an audience here, but I believe that audience is shrinking right along with the amount of royalists and, of course, the sycophants in the UK. It's an age thing. The young people are not buying it. The young people see it for what it's worth, and God, is that a relief. Thank you so much, Shelley L. Always appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Now, trigger alert, trigger alert, trigger alert. These are just a few of the let me move myself out the way here. This is just a few of the covers, front pages covers. Harry and Meghan bombshell. Now it's our turn. Now is that now mind you, I did not read the story. Is it now it's our turn? The Sussexes are confronting them or going after them, or are they saying now it's our turn, like, oh, we got something for you too? That is disturbing. And even if people do not buy those papers, even if people do not read the stories, even on the internet, there is enough being said on the cover, which is always carefully crafted to send a message. This is all part of the gaslighting, all part of the propaganda. So you have the very dutiful Kate, the mute woman, bending over to shake hands with the kid in the bearskin hat, tunic, and everything, part of the household guard uniform. And then, of course, you have the Sussexes looking like a snapshot of some kind of, it almost looks rather seedy the way that it is. It's kind of like they are in bed or something, is I guess is the impression that we're supposed to get, the way they carefully cropped it and put it all together. But you guys, I dissect these images all the time because there's so many hidden meanings to those. It's all about the words and the photos and the placement. Then if you go over to the sun, it says kiss means war. All right, so that's the another implied, you know, battle is taking place. Harry films sabotage. I'm sorry, Harry films sabotage of Will and Kate's. Sabotage of Will and Kate's. Harry's film sabotage. Well, anyway, bombshell clip timed to ruin U.S. tour. Okay. And then, of course, again, kiss means war. So you have Kate, like she's some type of giant heroine. And she, that photo, I think that hand gesture is kind of like, dusting your shoulders. You know how someone flicks their shoulder, like, you don't bother me, kind of like a little defiance, a gesture. And again, Harry and Meghan hugged up like they're rolling around in the bed. And of course, I don't know why Kate is stepping on Will's shoulder, but like she's Wonder Woman or something. That is kind of strange. Both of these are really, really strange, if you ask me. As a matter of fact, let me zoom in and see. It's that bottom square on the right side. It says Harry and Meghan um, reignited their war on William and Kate yesterday with the incendiary Netflix trailer. Now, that is that white square on the bottom right side. Again, the wording reignite, as in, a fire, and incendiary, again, like an incendiary weapon of war, like one of those incendiary bombs that they drop, and it has all the fuel that clings to everything and just sets everything on fire. Again, it's the language. Now let me go back to the other cover. Let's see if I can zoom into that one. The one that says now it's our turn. Let's see. So you can see the Palace and Race Row. So where are you really from? Okay, so you can see that's the other metro from perhaps the day before. And then beneath that, it says day after Race Row, Rocks Palace, Sussex's Unleash. There's another one of those words, Netflix trailer. Timing blows a hole in Will's and Kate's long awaited visit to the US. So, long awaited visit blows a hole. I'm telling you, is all in the language, and you don't even have to read the articles to get the point that they're trying to convey to people. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and of course, being a member. Greatly appreciated. And okay, so I am says Netflix did the Cambridges a favor because America is extremely sensitive to the issue of racism. It was the racism issue that caused Kennedy and John Kerry to pull out. Racism is the third rail. It certainly is, especially when you consider the legacy of the Kennedys as well as John Kerry, who has been very left leaning for quite some time. And of course, one of my favorite things is that he's married to the Heinz ketchup lady. Oh man. Well, yeah, so yeah, there's that connection right there. And let's see, what else do we have here? Church Nelly says, what I want to know is why the hell should Harry and Meghan check in with that unroyal family before releasing any damn thing? Megan is a effing American. You got that right, Church Nelly, and I agree with you. When they were within the institution, then we worry about the timing of things. Outside of the institution, we don't worry about the timing of things. I used to have this naive idea that the various houses were working together, and they would make sure that there was no conflicts in the schedule, and this person can shine and that person can shine. But of course, they dispelled any type of thoughts that I had about that. All of that was thrown away when I realized exactly how much they were either attacking the Duchess of Sussex, briefing against her, and of course, unleashing the tabloids upon her. And then, of course, all of that was completely dismissed by me as nothing more than this is a hate campaign. Thank you for your comment. Beverly Jackson says, Baron, you're right. It's very sad to watch how the U.S. morning show reports on the Sussexes. You can tell they are all now on the royal family side. Yeah, and they are. Thank you for your comment. They are so inundated with all of these royal reporters, these so-called royal experts. If you have an English accent, obviously you're an expert. So that's all it takes. Oh, Miss VS speaks royally. Hello. Let me see. They are happy. The trailer as released, so it distracts from the racist story. Hi, everyone in background listening while working. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, it does really help them out because what is so amazing to me is that the U.S. media is barely talking about the race row now that there's the uh, trailer to talk about. Whereas on the other side of the pond, in sync, they're talking about both simultaneously. And it's like over across the pond, you can't have one without the other in the UK. But over here, they are still trying to sell this fairy tale about how the Cambridges or the Waleses or whatever are coming over here to try to save the planet, and it's hard to break through that veneer. They're not really yielding either way. It's like a quick mention of the trailer and then more gushing about the bed knobs and broomsticks, which is so frustrating to me. But that is the way I see it. Is that is gush gush kiss kiss with the them, and they barely speak. Like, for instance, they don't even analyze the trailer in the least bit. They don't mention any reason why anything was said or what. They don't even speculate about what it may mean. They mostly talk about the timing of it. Oh, the timing of it. No, why don't you get more in depth with it? Why don't you hear their story? Why don't you talk about their story? And they don't seem to want to do that. Hello, Audrey Teschner. Real love isn't a switch a person can turn on and of its own heart, and so that's connected. Yes, it exactly, Audrey Teschner. Thank you so much for saying that. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and thank you for the super sticker. All right, so I'm going to scroll because I don't know how far behind I am, but I'm scrolling all the way down here to the very last comment, and then I'm going to continue. William and Kate's visit is lackluster, low energy, and that's why they are criticizing the Sussexes about the release of the Netflix trailer. Yes, Terry H, I agree. If they want any interest in what they're doing, they have to bring the Sussexes in one way or the other. Okay. Daily Express says, Harry, do you really hate your family so much? Oh, God. And then the other one here, Daily Mail says, Netflix trailer, allies of William and Kate say is a declaration of war. Of course, they had to exaggerate declaration of war. And then, of course, bunkers. Oh, that ain't for us. All right. So let me zoom in to Daily Express and see what else I can pick up from that page. like that lower right corner of the Express. A bombshell, there we go, bombshell. A bombshell trailer for Prince Harry and Meghan's ill timed Netflix documentary threatens to widen the chasm even further between the couple and the royal family. It was released yesterday as William and Kate's visit to the U.S. was barely underway. The oh yeah, it says the highlights or something next page, whatever. So okay, so you have that. And then if I can zoom into the fail and see what they have in up close. First of the astounding revelations in Mac. Okay, I don't know what that's about. All right. So yeah, that's it for that. Uh Unflattering image of Kate. Unflattering image of Kate, which I'm going to shade, I'm sorry, which I'm going to talk about that later, of course, and weeping Megan. Okay, so I'm done with that. Shelly L says my son was watching YouTube with me and saw Pierce call out Megan for unfinished business. He said, WTF, I wish another man would call out my wife. Well, well, as you know, we did talk about that yesterday with that hoghead saying we have unfinished business. And oh man, I hate that scolding way that they speak of or to or about the Sussexes like they are children. I cannot stand that. But um yeah, that really bothers me. That rubs me in the wrong way, the worst way. Um I I I don't like that tone that they use with the Sussexes as though they are misbehaving children, and of course they love to use the term immature as they talk about the Sussexes among other things. And as I said, words matter, and they choose the words carefully to convey a certain mindset. um, so as you were saying about the there it is. Thank you, Shelly L, again for the super chat. We have unfinished business. Pierce Morgan reaches out to Meghan Markle for TV interview. Um, yeah, there you have it. And there are, it's so twisted that, all right, it's one thing that there are so many men who get a kick out of watching a woman be abused, publicly abused, electronically lynched, if you will. There's so many men that get off on that. But what's even more confusing to me is that there are so many women who are so comfortable with sitting back and allowing a woman to be abused, and they say absolutely nothing. They are unbothered, they are unconcerned, and they just simply do not care. They don't concern themselves with the fact that a woman is being actively abused, publicly abused, and even by multiple people. And sadly enough, when you have a woman of color who is being abused by white men, and it's okay. It is okay. Um, Tom, what is his name? Tom Barrow, whatever his name is. That old sour on television in the UK and just totally bashing Meghan. And just so you guys in the UK know, we do have enough bad television, but even the tabloid television, they would cut short a conversation that was that horrendous, um, from someone who has written a book or something. I mean, yes, they will have a sly way of allowing it in, but I seeing Pierce Morgan on Good Morning Britain, I couldn't imagine him on the Today Show or Good Morning America. They're more sly about their negativity, but that was just the most bizarre thing, and that was mourning. Yeah, I mean, who starts off their day with that kind of negativity? That sets that sets the pace for the entire day. But oh my God, that guy. Anyway, I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna take or should I say look at a few more of these, read a couple of more of these. Yes, Trina Hodges, the coronation to disrupt Archie's birthday. Um, yeah, I mean that did happen, and because it's Charles III, there won't be any pushback. But yeah, absolutely, the people on Fleet Street will have a good laugh about it, and that's about as far as that goes. Thank you for that reminder. And VS says the royal family shows how narcissistic they are because why is everything that Harry and Meghan involves royal family? It doesn't. Royal family should be called on the narcissism. Absolutely. But, they go and take photos with people, and that instantly makes them the center of the universe. If you play tennis, you're a champion, they take a photo with you, somehow it seems to translate to people that they have done something great and impressive because they're there to take a photo with someone who is actually a great person and impressive and not just a birthright. Alan Vernon says, I love how they think Harry and Meghan have so much power. They can order a giant company like Netflix around. Alan Vernon, exactly. Netflix has a bottom line. Netflix are likely the ones who's time that release. Um, that's their call. That was their call. Nobody else's. Um, I'm sure that is how that worked out, but yet the Sussexes will get the blame for it as though it was part of a greater sinister plan. But thank you so much, Alan Vernon, for the super chat. And again, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And moving on. So, as you can see, interesting that the trailer, which involves the red and black, reminds me so much of that photo that someone had put together with the Sussexes. So, yeah, that wasn't my handiwork, that was someone else's. So, I paired the two of those together for this little slide right here. But yeah, I'm loving red and black right now. I am a subscriber to Netflix and have been, I think, since 2010 or 2011, something like that. So yeah, I went and got the whatever the highest price Netflix is because I share it with family and such. So anyway, I if I didn't have Netflix before the Sussexes and their connection to Netflix, their deal with Netflix, I would have gone out and got it. So what did I do? I just got the higher price Netflix, and yeah, anybody that supports them, I am going to support those people. Hello, Judy Regoat, and here again, I just threw these out there because, well, what could I say? That's Harry and Meghan. I wanted to share those with you guys. And then there's this. Omid Scobie says, if tomorrow is Prince William's Super Bowl, then here's your halftime show. Netflix has have released a first look at the Sussexes docuseries. Obviously, this was from yesterday. Harry and Meghan out December 8th. So, oh my goodness, we don't have long, do we? 6 episodes will share the other side of their love story and the challenges they face. Now, from what I hear, did I hear that with Petal? No, I think I read that somewhere. Maybe I read that where they were saying that people cannot seem to place where these photos were taken. God, where did I hear that? Anyway, so this is obviously the reception at the wedding, right? But then there's other photos where they seem to not really recognize the actual timeline of when the photos were taken. Which, they're black and white photos. I'm not going to say that there's anything suspicious by the fact that people who otherwise don't like the Sussexes anyway get that wrong, because um, I'm trying to place some of the situations myself. And so, yeah, it's not exactly easy, but then that's the point. It is deliberately designed to pull you in so you can, that's what trailers do. They're supposed to pique your interest. So we'll find out in due time. It doesn't matter. Okay, so here, Royal Suit has shared this. We have systematic racism throughout our society. No institution is immune to this. You have to say it again based on this experience, what it represents for the royal household. Then I think it gives absolute credence to the lived experience of the Duchess of Sussex. So, got a little sound bite for you that I will share. Hopefully, it doesn't buffer, but if it does, I'll just start it over. I think it's only like a minute and a half, so let's just hope it holds out. Uh, okay. Be prepared to adjust your sound, but I think it should be good.
It was awful. Worse than condescending. I mean, as Ngozi Fulani has said, I mean, this was abuse. This was racist abuse at an event which was about the prevention of abuse and should have been a safe space. But really, I mean, in the interview that I saw earlier, Ngozi Fulani was saying, "Well, nobody from the palace has contacted me directly." And this is an opportunity for us to learn, what does this represent? I don't accept the age question, but there was a live debate in Britain in the 60s and in the 70s when Lady Hussey would have been in her 20s or her 30s about race. I mean, my mother is in her 80s. She would not do that. I don't think that is acceptable, and it does raise the question because Meghan Markle, the only person of colour in over 1,000 years of the history of the royal family, there's been a member of the royal family, there's been a person of colour, and said, she had to distance herself from the royal family because of her experience of racism. And that's the bigger question, isn't it? We have systemic racism throughout our society. No institution, I think, is immune to this. And you have to say, again, based on this experience, what it represents in terms of the royal household, then I think it gives absolute credence to the lived experience of Meghan Markle, and she's in the best position of anyone to speak truth to power in terms of the royal family and their attitude to racism.
I love him. I don't know who this guy is. But yeah, it's the guy with the red ribbon on there. I don't know who he is, but I love him. I think he's amazing. And as he says, Meghan is in the best position. She's there. Even that far away from that family, she has the lived experience. She is still part of that family. She is the Duchess of Sussex. And even without that title, as long as Harry is a royal prince, and unless she remarries, then she is still a princess. Now, title or no title, at this point, they have a brand. They are international figures, and branding is not a bad word. Branding is what you can do, how much power you can leverage in any situation, whether it's for charity, whether it's for a profit, or whether it's to get a good table at a restaurant. You have your brand. You are part of pop culture, and there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. Um, Harry and Meghan are the most popular uh, royal couple in the world, and they are the most influential couple, royal or not, in the world. Everybody has been pulled into this because of their marriage, which set the precedent for their future fame, because they married, because it was such a change from any other royal marriage. Um, Obviously, it brought a lot of attention, and the fact that they are so loving toward each other. I mean, it's just so obvious how much they love each other. And because of that, that alone is enough to pull you in. So they have so many reasons why they are the larger than life figures that they have become. So many reasons. Alone, they can go out and do things without the other and make a huge impact alone or together. They wherever they go, they make a huge impact. And that's just the way it is. So if you guys recognize him, please say so. But I don't know who he is. I just saw that clip on the let me see. As a matter of fact, yeah, I don't have a name for him, but I got that from Royal Suitor. And let me see. Yeah, I'm sorry, I do not have a name for him, but that was lovely. Okay, I'm going to continue. So, you guys, Sussex Squad racism plot against British royal family. Did you guys know that we were plotting against them? There is now a transparent attempt by the Sussex Squad and other haters and wreckers of the British monarchy to damn our royal family as racist. Not to call them racist, not to, yeah, we are trying to damn them. I did not know. I did not know I could damn anybody. Did you guys know that we were doing that? I had no idea how powerful we were. And of course, like everybody else, I'm still waiting for my paycheck from Montecito. I am still waiting for my Montecito paycheck. And if you guys get yours, please let me know so I can watch the mailbox because I want my money.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex Squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
You guys haven't heard that little theme in a while, have you? Bum, dun, 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 dun. Anyway, you guys, we are incredibly powerful. And as you have heard that Rootin' Tootin' Dan Wooten say, that we are part of a much greater plot. I didn't get any type of handbook or instructional manual or anything like that to tell me what to do. So I guess this is all quite organic. But yeah, so that's their opinion, is that we are out to get the royal family and much a part of a much greater plot. Never mind the Republic movement in Britain, in Wales, in Scotland, and of course, increasingly, Northern Ireland. Never mind the former colonies, now the Commonwealth, and all the people who spoke out about colonialism after the Queen died. Nope, ignore that. As a matter of fact, let's ignore everything else and let's just focus on the Sussex Squad, as though there are not these huge entities out there who all have skin in the game, if you will, that take exception to the power of the royal family, and of course, all the sycophants that follow them around. Not everybody is in love with the royal family. And this pretense, like somehow we are shifting people's opinion, how could we? We don't have the platform that they have. They got the legacy media here in the United States, they have their bots on the internet. They have their royal reporters and royal authors and so-called royal experts, and basically, I'm talking about the royal rotor. They have all the tools. We are just a ragtag group of people. We don't have the power of the royal rodents. We don't sit around with a cup of coffee and some little nasty green jacket with whiskers and a long tail. And of course, we do have a way to deal with them. And that is by unpacking the receipts. That's all we have. All we have is each other, and we have our receipts. We have voices, and that's it. We don't have any connection. As I always say, I don't want anybody's personal information. I don't want to know it. I don't. Our anonymity is part of our strength. So that is what is most important. So yeah, I don't know what to speak to that except to say well, I don't know what to say about that, but I'm glad for the shout out. I'm so glad for the shout out. And here you can see, I don't know who this Niall Gardner is, but there is a very transparent attempt by the Sussex Squad and other haters of the British royal monarchy to damn our royal family as racist, says Dan Wooten. So obviously, there are people who are co-signing with this assertion that the Sussex Squad is out to get the royal family. We just want them to leave Harry and Meghan alone. And if you guys are listening, um, whoever is a royalist or royal expert or something like that, that's it. Just leave Harry and Meghan alone. That's all we care about, is setting the record straight. And of course, we have been praying for them. So I'd watch out for those prayers if I were you, but we have been praying for them. And that's it. We don't care about that other stuff. All right. So then, of course, there's Dr. Shola Mos Shom Bamumu. Dr. Shola. Dr. Shola has been on television today. And of course, Good Morning Britain. That is where they drove Hoghead away from morning television. Let's see. Harry and Meghan docuseries is an affirmative action to speak their truth. The royal family can be the best of Britain if it embodies, can't be the best of Britain if it embodies the worst. Biographer says Meghan's allegations of racism is unjust. I wasn't having it. Watch full YouTube. I guess that video is available on YouTube. And you know what, you guys, I will make sure I will find it and I will put the full video up if I can, so you guys can watch it for yourself. Phyllis Brooks, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Friday to you. And also thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay, so Dr. Shola, let me see what I can do about that. Okay, let me find Dr. Shola's voice. It is just a sample of it, of course. I don't have the, I don't even think I have part of it. Do I? No, I don't. Oh, I apologize for that. I don't even have part of it. Oh, yes, I do. I know how to get part of it. Okay, Shola. Dr. Shola. I love Dr. Shola. She's pretty. Okay, here we go.
Dr. Shola, I wonder what you made of the trailer that dropped yesterday, because, you know, all of us are watching it, all of us have an opinion about it, but I don't doubt that when the documentary comes out, we will be gripped.
Oh, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, I think that the trailer was incredibly powerful and gripping. I think the reality here is that Harry and Meghan have hit the nail on the head. It's time for them to tell their story in their own time, in their own way. And without a shadow of doubt as well, it will probably be an affirming act on their part to be able to say, look, these are the decisions we had to make because of ABC. And it's a potential time bomb scandal for the royal family. And my point about this scandal is that not just this one or any other scandal, is that every scandal poses a significant reputational risk to the royal family. And yet we have to also bear in mind that the royal family embodies the racial structure, class wars, the power imbalance, and the economic inequality that shapes and divides this country. So really, it cannot be the best of Britain if it embodies its worst. And that is ultimately is what every scandal reveals.
Essentially, this charge of racism is thoroughly unjust. Nobody could have done more during her long life and her long reign in the Queen to bring about harmonious and better relations within the Commonwealth.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true at all. It is not unjust. If anything, the actions of Lady Susan Hussey validates what Harry and Meghan have said. Lady Susan Hussey is part of the establishment. Everything she said to Ngozi Fulani was not new to her. Please understand that in this country, we have established a way of normalizing racism casually. So even the very act of racism happening in front of you is treated as though it's nothing of the sort.
Dr.
So no,
Shola,
that is not an unjust claim. It is just.
Michael, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're out of time.
Sure are out of time. Nobody. Do you guys hear me? Nobody has done more to counter racism than Her Majesty the Queen in her 70 years on the throne. Did you guys know that? Because I was totally unaware of it. That's what the old guy said. Nobody has done more. Not Malcolm X, not Marcus Garvey, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. Nobody has done more, and I do mean nobody has done more than Her Majesty the Queen. Nobody. And for a while there, I was thinking to myself, there's going to be a new Messiah to come along, you know, Martin Luther Cambridge. But no, I overlooked Her Majesty. So maybe it was that famous speech. 1992 is a year that I should look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. Maybe that was the speech. Maybe I need to go back and listen to that speech again, because maybe I missed something. Or perhaps it was the other memorable speech, be it long or be it short, whatever she said in that speech. My life to our Commonwealth, to our imperial family, whatever she said. Maybe that was the speech that solidified her as a true warrior for civil rights. Like I said, I got to go back and listen to it again. But somehow, some way, Her Majesty has made a huge difference in the civil rights movement. And I think I just got it wrong. I wasn't paying attention. So, as I say sarcastically, I must have missed something. So, Leg says the British media wants to turn the Sussex Squad into something nasty because our fundraising and defense of Harry and Meghan They want to keep us isolated. Good luck with that. Exactly, especially since we don't know each other. That's the whole point of the Sussex Squad. We are anonymous, but we are unanimous in our support for the Sussexes. And of course, you're right. Our fundraising is a huge threat because we actually, from ground roots contributions, have given more money than the Cambridges or anybody else in that family. I mean, especially when you consider that we don't have the vast resources of the royal family and they don't give anything. So, yeah, you're right, Legs. That is something to consider, is that it was probably not just the fact that we have that support for the Sussexes, but also the fundraising. So thank you so much for that comment. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, and Shelly L says with a super chat, I'm always sending positive, loving thoughts to Harry and Meghan because they are 1,000 times stronger than negative thoughts. Harry and Meghan staying strong and protected. Like I say, our prayers, they ain't gonna beat us for our prayers. And so they can try, but it's not gonna work. In the end, when it's all summed up, they are going to lose, and they know it because they're on the wrong side of history. Not just the family, but the people that are trying to uphold this institution that is so greatly outdated. I mean, it's just outdated. That's not going to change. As I say, the royal family is a huge curiosity to people, but most of the people in the U.S., if you try to call an American citizen a subject, I don't think most people would like the idea of being a subject or having anyone in the country above the law. You know, there's no one in the U.S. that's above the law. Now, of course, people buy their way out of trouble all the time, but essentially, the law is written so that there's always equal protection guaranteed. Even if people aren't doing it, it is enshrined in law. Thank you so much, Shelly L. And as always, for watching Royal Sussex. And Sheila Clements McKay says the power of the squad is undeniable. Amen to that. And thank you so much for your comment, as well as the super chat. And as always, for watching Royal Sussex. And you're also a member. Splendid. Greatly appreciate it. And remember, the memberships are still a bargain at $4.99. And with that membership, you get those fun stickers that you can use and not much else. But you can help support this channel. Tamiko Hidman says, oh, it's a super chat. Thank you so much, Tamiko, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. Thank you very much. All right. Wow, a lot of comments. I'm so sorry I'm missing so many of these. Vicky, the series, I'm sorry, Derisi, I like that. The royal family cannot change because you have to admit you are wrong before you can change. They will never, ever admit they were wrong. No, of course not. They have the divine right of kings. And of course, there is one member of the family that has the divine right of queens. And that's Edwina, who fancies a maxi coat over anything else. That is one sister that can wear a maxi coat. Look at there. That look at, check it out. Maxi. Might have to start calling her Maxine, but that is one sister that can wear a maxi coat. So divine right of kings and a particular queen. All right, you guys. So here, I love her, but is this her first time clapping? Kate and Wills are gently mocked, right, online for their awkward appearance at Boston Celtics game. Now, I don't have the video to share with you guys, but Mama was off rhythm. She was off beat, off rhythm, and almost out of her chair. She did not. I told you, she has a problem. She has a little tick with those jazz hands. She never knows what to do with those jazz hands. It's okay. I mean, I'm not making fun of her, but she does have a little tick. It's like a little stigma, a little tick or something like that. Is the eye and mouth coordination never seem to match up. And of course, the hands, that works in there too. But yeah, that was something that went viral, was the very awkward. And when they say awkward, it was awkward. Even William was just like, oh, God. All right. And then, as I told you before, now this is that photo that they used on the, I forgot which paper it was. But of course, when I saw that very weird hand gesture, I thought I might make use of it later. I still don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you know me, I'll think of something. Oh no, it's the embalming fluid, Baron, not Botox. Oh man, you're right about that. She does kind of look like something that just set up down at a funeral parlor somewhere and just started talking. And over here, Jackie, Sussex Squad, Netherlands says, knock, knock, who's there? Karma Kate and Will Peck. Karma, absolutely. You know what? And Jackie, you have a great point, because this is just like the trip to the Caribbean, a disaster. Lackluster disaster, and it only demonstrates to people how much they are out of touch. This is like another one of those out of touch tours. Thank you so much for the super sticker as always, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right, so let's go with it then. All right, so this right here, Dr. Benjamin Braddock. I don't know who that is. All right, so I saw this and I said, well, you never know. Let me make sure that I vet this and make sure that it says exactly what it says, right? Because I don't want to get that wrong. So here you can see it. It's much easier with the, this is what I did a screenshot of myself. So it says here that Ngozi Fulani, real name is Mary Hetley. She adopted a West African name for effect. Now, this is the accusation, is that she only used that name for effect. Is a professional race hustler who runs a fake charity for which the what is that? Interretti? Well, whatever that word is. Of this activity, the entirety, I'm sorry, of this activity on record consists of paying her executive salary over £140,000 per year in undisclosed expenses. Now, none of that can be confirmed. I don't know, but it's what follows up that is very interesting. So it says here, Susan Hussey is a shattered and heartbroken. I'm sorry. Well, actually, this Braddock tweeted that in response to this. Susan Hussey is shattered and heartbroken and will never recover the wasteland that is now her life, and will be worse. I'm sorry. That's small. Will be worse than any injury done to Miss Fulani, who, far from being the sensitive plant she portrays herself as, is touring every TV studio in London. Spectator.com. Well, anyway, the person that wrote this story is that, what is her name? The one who was the mistress of Boris Johnson. Petrola, whatever her name is. Petulant, whatever that woman's name is. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, she's the one who wrote that. But then Dr. Benjamin Braddock follows that. Now, this is a blue checkmark person. In more civilized times, this wretched, oh gosh, that's a tongue twister. This wretched wench would be cutting sugarcane in Barbados instead of terrorizing elderly ladies of aristocratic bearing. He said what he said. In more civilized times, this wretched wench would be cutting sugarcane in Barbados instead of terrorizing elderly ladies of aristocratic bearing. Now, if that isn't pompous, if that isn't racist, if that isn't typical, I don't know what is, but that was very racist. And as you can see here on the right side, someone reported it and it was actually removed. Even with, the new regime at Twitter, they removed it. So that comment is gone. But yeah, it is a violation. And so here, oh, wait a minute. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was it about that one. Sorry about that, you guys. I thought I had something else. Well, do I? No, I do not. All right. So I'm done with that. You know what? I'm kind of alarmed now because I think I may have put my slides out of order. But anyway, you got the point about that one is that they tweeted that and then the bottom comment was deleted, or should I say removed, by Twitter. All right. Leg says, why do I get a Thor Ragnarok vibe from the royal family? Prince Harry, Thor, Tampon, Charlie, Odin, banished his son. I mean, his children, that is. Baldy is Loki. They really need Hela to highlight where we are evil, get over it, or is that Anne? Okay, for those of you who don't get the reference, Thor, of course, you know him. And then there's Odin, who is Prince Charles, right? That's Thor's father. And Odin had a history of corruption, although he was once very powerful. But then, of course, Thor became number one. And as for Loki, that is the god of mischief. So Thor, the god of thunder, Loki, the god of mischief. And then, of course, Anne, Hela, who was Thor's sister, who I don't like to think of Anne as Hela. Even Anne is not Hela, but I get your point. But yeah, Hela is Thor's sister. All right, so, and good on me to know all these people. Very good example. Legs, thank you so much for that. And also for the super sticker, the super chat. And moving on, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker, as well as being a member of Royal Sussex. And we're moving on. So, oh my God, let me see. All right, I just saw that pop up on my screen. It looks like Baldy has got his wish. He has, Joe Biden has greeted, let me see, President Biden greets Prince William and asks, where's your top coat during historic meeting in Boston? Oh, boy. Well, you know what? You guys, don't even trip about that. That is of no importance to us. But they're going to make a big deal out of it because William is trying to make a name for himself on the world stage. So, again, don't even worry about it. Let me see. Where's your top coat? And ask William, where's your top coat? President meets royal at Boston JFK, 150 feet from the union protesters calling Joe Biden a scab for rejecting sick rail workers' sick leave. So if there are protesters there for the Cambridges, they're going to say that they're protesting Joe Biden. Trust me when I say that. If there are anybody protesting, they will make it out to be about Biden and nothing to do with the other ones. So, okay, so they got their Kodak moment. Let's move on. That is no concern of ours. But yeah, just so you guys know, that is going to pop up sooner or later. All right, so why did Philip take the name Mountbatten? The late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Oh, that's why I did that. You know what? I couldn't remember why did I do that. But okay, so let's say if her real name or birth name was Mary Headley, that doesn't matter because Prince Philip changed his surname, if you guys remember, Schuschwick, Holstein, Sonderberg, Gluckberg, by parental descent. And of course, the British royal family changed their name from Saxe Coburg and Gotha to Windsor. So whether or not there has been a name change, she was still racially abused at Buckingham Palace at a space where she should have felt safe. And that was all I wanted to say about that. And here you have the Financial Times 25 most influential women of 2022. One, of course, Serena Williams. Another, the Duchess of Sussex. I do not have the complete list, but there you are. Meghan has become a symbol of resilience for many silenced women, specifically speaking for women of color, even more specifically, mixed race and Black women. Her experience within the royal family resonates with those who have had a negative, historically white elitist institution that are at best not built for them in mind and at worst outwardly hostile. I'll say amen to that. That does happen quite some. That even happened to Michelle Obama when she went to school. There was quite a few hostile people at her school, and she had to suffer with this roommate who called her mother and said, I don't even want to know the language she used. And so her mother came to school and raised hell to make sure that her daughter did not have a Black girl as a roommate in college. And years later, she tried to apologize to Michelle Obama, but Michelle was not having it and did not want to hear of it. She never spoke about it. Just goes to show you how classy Michelle Obama is. The royal family is an establishment largely maintained through silence and complicity. It is this, in part, that makes Meghan's choice to use her voice so powerful. This year, she launched a podcast, Archetypes, where she interrogates the label used to contain and inhibit women, fitting given the projection and smears she has endured from the press. For the Black community in particular, it was hard to watch her demonization by the British media and public, but seeing her come into her own and use her platform to speak about what matters to her has sent a message even louder than she may have intended. Amen. Amen. All right, and next. And so you have here Sir Michael Take, CBE rather. Is that a real name? Michael Take? Yeah, I guess that's his name. All right, so as you can imagine, I've met Lady Bubbles Hussey many times. She is a loyal and tolerant lady. She's just disliked working class people, foreigners, Roman Catholics, vegans, Northerners, ponytailed men, anyone who isn't white, and everyone else. But she is not a racist. Leave her be. I love that. She's not a racist. Leave her be. Never mind that she doesn't like pretty much anybody, but leave her alone. She's not racist. Annette Ricard says, let me see, if they just stop making excuse for them in Yes, that word. We see you. We hear you. Let me see. The eyes of the world is watching and listening. Thank you, Annette, so much for your comment. And also, thank you so much for the super chat. And happy Friday to you. Okay. All right. So, Omen Scobie says, I see we have entered a predictable turn the victim into villain phase of the story. The gymnastics and lying some people are doing to excuse the racism of a woman they haven't met is wild. No wonder so many who experience racism or bigotry keep it to themselves. Shameful. Very wise words, Mr. Scobie. If the king truly wants to show leadership and modernize the monarchy, then acknowledging the institutional racism within it is the only way forward. And that he has a column that he wrote, that his most recent, as he says, in the Yahoo News. So you guys, please make sure you support Omid Scobie's column in the Yahoo News. I think he does one a week, maybe. But anyway, he's been very busy. This is like a big comeuppance for him that he gets a chance to use his voice on Yahoo News. Trust me, they need it. And here, this is what I saw on MSNBC. Not MSNBC, but NBC. Now, I don't have a video to share, but please, let's start from the top left. I don't know who she is, but when they brought up the topic of Harry and Meghan and the trailer for Netflix, she sits there with her fist under her face, right? Like, oh, and the very curious timing, she waves her next photo, she waves her hand left and right, sweeping left and right. The very curious timing. And then you can see she's kind of closing her eyes at the photo on the bottom left, only for, I think his name is Craig, whatever his name is. Then he brings up, yeah, and didn't I hear that they wanted their privacy? This is why the squatties don't watch NBC. I like Keir Simmons. I think Keir Simmons was the one who predicted that the royal family was going to, do this stuff with Meghan. He predicted that. He even said that I hope, right? I like Keir Simmons. But Keir Simmons, of course, still works for NBC. And so after she said the curious timing, Craig Melvin, thank you so much. And then after Craig Melvin said, didn't they want their privacy? Keir Simmons was like, oh, well, like any family. So he didn't co-sign with them, but he had to say something very general because he's paid to be on camera. So it's really sad because you got a black man and a black woman on American television bashing the Duchess of Sussex, as far as I'm concerned. And they're Keir Simmons, someone who otherwise is capable of being very fair, right? He chimes in with, well, with any family, okay, you know what, guys, he got to do what he got to do. I understand that. He got to do what he got to do. But he's still part of the problem. They're all part of the problem. At the very least, the blonde didn't say anything. She just gave the curious look while everybody else spoke. In some ways, I really I would have preferred for the blonde lady to have been part of the conversation instead of a black woman. Oh my God, you guys. As you guys know, I have been knowing Mo Shannon for years, and I made her watch this. She did not want to watch it, but I made her watch it, and she's like, okay, I'm going to watch it because you said so, but I don't really want to. But I made her watch it, and I needed to, I didn't want to be alone with that. And I'm sorry I asked her to watch it. And she said, I already know I'm going to get pissed off, but I'm going to look at it anyway. And she did. And anyway, I wanted someone to confirm that it was exactly what I just said it was. And that's what it was. And it was just very negative slant against the Sussexes. And unfortunately, someone who otherwise I had respect for, Keir Simmons, is playing a part of this. And of course, the echo chamber of hate in the comment section. So you know what, guys, it's hopeless. I wanted to see, like, if there were going to be any type of conversation about the content of the trailer. None of that. The only thing I heard was curious timing. Didn't they want privacy? And every family has its problems. And that was it. But it was awful. It was awful. I felt exhausted after I watched that. In just like a minute or two, they managed to slander and disparage the Sussexes in the most epic way. And sadly, I'm looking at a black man and a black woman on television. Oh, man. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to move on. So, no comparison. If you guys, this guy right here, he plays on the Celtics. Unfortunately, you know what I'm going to say? I don't have the video, but you can hear his words for yourself. He was asked about, well, they tried to see if he was excited about seeing the Cambridges, the Royals, if you will. If he was excited about meeting, did he meet, or was he excited about the Royals? And of course, not. Excited, not. And so his answer was so funny. Let me see here. I got it for you guys. You can hear his voice yourself. Okay, there we go.
Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one. Thank you.
One more time.
Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one. Thank you.
And what I love is that it was so deadpan. He kept a straight face throughout the entire comment. And he did say a little bit more after that. But yeah, it was just the very deadpan way he said that. And he was done. I said what I said. I'm done. Shelly L says, once my partner and I responded to a disturbing call, the British guy stepped up and says, whoa, I didn't know your kind had freckles. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh, the ignorance of it. Shelly L, first of all, I hate that happened to you. But I say I'm not surprised. I'm totally not surprised. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine today who really isn't like that big on geography or history. And well, anyway, this person said to me, I wouldn't know where she came from either. I would have thought XYZ. Speaking about of course, the incident at Buckingham Palace. And okay, that's very honest. Now, I have experienced, where you're from before, but not to a great extent because mostly I sound like I'm from the Midwest, and sometimes I say some pretty, colorful colloquiums that are very Southern, and so people sometimes think I'm from the South. Fine. Um, but I guess when you look at a travel brochure back in the day, you didn't see black people in the UK. When you look at British television, you don't see a lot of black people. So someone from outside of Britain, I could imagine that you would be rather confused, like, the person is just there visiting, or I get that. I get that. But I go by rule number one. If this is where you're born, then that's who you are. And then rule number two, if you have citizenship, right? I don't care what kind of accent you got, but if your citizenship is officially a resident of a particular country, then that's what you are, you know? And then, obviously some people may see some subtle cue and say, oh, but where are you from originally? I'm going to just say this. When it comes to black people in the United States, that is a very sensitive topic. And I could imagine, obviously, in Britain, it's the same way because there's no records. There's no records. You can only go back so far with the average African American and find records of the family tree. You can only go back so far. Usually it's from like emancipation on. And from anything before that, there's really no names, just the age and perhaps a birth date, but just the age and, of course, the gender. And that's all the identification you have. Sometimes they'll put a first name, sometimes they don't. So it's very unusual to trace the family tree any further than the Emancipation Proclamation. And so when people ask where you're from, I just don't get you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's safe. It's just like touching somebody's hair. That wasn't safe either, but yet that's what happened. She thought so little of this woman that she moved her hair. And that's just not good. That's that you don't do that. So as much as they try, and by the way, thank you again, Shelly L, for the super chat. And as always, thank you so much for the very good comments and such. Always welcome. Yeah, it's so many things that was wrong with that situation. And I believe because of her very, shall we say, Afrocentric appearance, maybe that's why she was singled out. Because I feel like she was singled out more than anything else. I think that she was singled out. She wasn't wearing something that looked so traditionally English. She didn't look traditionally English like quite a few people in the room. But for whatever reason, she was singled out. Was it her hair? Was it her clothes? Was it her jewelry? But it was something. So I suppose if she would have dressed more like Countess of Wessex Sophie, then maybe she wouldn't have said anything to her. So I think she, that's just my opinion. It just seemed like the more you can check those different boxes in your head, as this person obviously did. Like, oh, she looks like a very unique person. I wonder where she's from. No, it didn't happen like that. I think she just kind of singled her out. I really do believe that. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, this was so deliberate. It was so deliberate. As though she made a bet with someone or something. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to, define the situation like that, but it was something that tugged her in that direction. Something. So anyway, it's hurtful to think about. It was hurtful to watch. There was a lot going on there. So anyway, you guys, I am going to move on because I know some of you guys are going to scat soon, and I got a few more slides left. So time for a little bit of the messy part of things. As you guys know, the Countess of Wessex went out on the town to the Royal Variety Show. Howdy! When I saw that dress, I'm like, mother of many pearl, is she going to the Royal Variety Show or is she going to the Grand Ole Opry? Is she headed to the Grand Ole Opry? Where is she going? I swear it looked like she's wearing mini pearl couture. Howdy! Yes, Sherry, where you're right. She was too confident. Lady Hussey wanted to bring her down. Old racist biddies can't help themselves to put someone in their place. I was raised in Deep South. Trust me. That's what I'm saying, Sherry, where because this anyway, I understand what you're saying. So, yes, she's wearing mini pearl couture. And not for the first time. She keeps pulling this mini pearl crap. If this is not I wonder if mini pearl is like an ancestor. I mean, as soon as I saw that garish gown, the first thing, and then of course, I'm guessing she must have had a long day because I promise you, she is about maybe 2 hours past the 18th hour, if you get my drift. She's about 2 or 3 hours past the 18th hour. As a matter of fact, I have tires that are under less pressure than what she's wearing. Howdy! I promise you, that was the first thing that came to mind was Mini Pearl. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Mini Pearl. Mini Pearl headed to the Grand Ole Opry. Oh, man. And of course, some of these outfits have not escaped the notice of her non-binary husband. As you can see, he always leans away from her. Anytime she pulls that, like when she wore the blue jumpsuit the first time, he wasn't even there. Now, when they went to Westminster Abbey, he went along, but she had a coat on. It was wintertime. But in these situations, he just, he just leans away from her. And of course, she was wearing one of those mini pearl dresses when that bird attacked her. That bird took one look at that dress and balled up his talon and went in. He literally knocked the sunglasses off her head. That's how bad he wanted to disparage her with that mini pearl knockoff dress that she was wearing. And then, of course, yes, she's at it again. Sarah Vine. Sarah, where's my neck, Vine? If you notice here, let me see. The mournful piano music, the ghostly echoes of clicking camera shutters, Megan clutching her moon bump. Did she really go there and say moon bump? She actually called it a moon bump. Now, you guys know that feeds into some of the lowest levels, some of the nastiest types of, shall we say, conspiracies that there is concerning the Sussexes. And yet it just goes to show exactly where their mentality lies. It makes me wonder if some of those are not burner accounts, but she went there. And then again, there is this. Just saying, she has a problem. William and Kate's friends are sickened by the portrayal of stony-faced Princess in Harry and Meghan's trailer. They are upset about her stony face. What about the rest of us that have to deal with her stony face? I'm tired of looking at it. I mean, that's part of her brand is the stony face. Why are they blaming Harry and Meghan for her face? So one of the squaddies posted this, and I'm like, okay, go with it. And I started pulling out some of my own images of the stony face Princess of Wales and, of course, Duchess of Cambridge. Like here. Now, whether you airbrush it or you don't, it's still a stony face. We didn't do anything to her. She did. I don't know how the stony face came about, right? But why are you blaming us? Now, they tried to airbrush it and it wouldn't go away. A stone is a stone. So whether you airbrush it or not, it's still a stony face. It's not the Sussex's fault. Like, remember this? This is when Meghan and Harry came back to Westminster Abbey. Well, this was like when she found out they were coming, right? And again, the stony face. Now, someone caught her out on the high street shopping and started snapping photos. There's the twitchy hands. There's the lips. She don't know what to do with her mouth. She don't know what to do with her hands. That's her problem. Don't blame the Sussexes. They didn't do anything. So, and then here's a collection from one of the squaddies of the collage of stony faces. Now, overhead lighting seems to be the enemy, but then again, light is the enemy. And then there's this occasion. Now, you see her face is fuller. She was younger. William has a few more hairs. Right? Allegedly, right? And then, of course, there's this one. This is her set point, as they say. This is her set point. This is who she is. So don't blame the Sussexes. Don't blame the Sussex Squad. The stony face is from someplace within. It's not outside of her. It is inside of her. What's on the inside is on the outside, except for when it comes to William. You would think that, wow, he must have a lot of ingrown hairs. There's no hair inside. It's not on the outside. It's just not there. But yeah, so don't blame the Sussexes for the stony face. All right, you guys, I am so done for today. It is call-in day for the Duchess of Success, and I am going to listen while I prepare my dinner. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Royal Sussex. And of course, on behalf of the late, great Minnie Pearl, let me just say it one more time for you. Howdy! Welcome to the Grand Ole Opry. Let me see. Fatima Jallo says, I don't understand why American media stand for a royal family. I just don't understand that. Well, it's a money-making thing for them. Selling that is profitable. and they made a lot of money when the Queen died. They want access to the royal family because it's a soap opera that doesn't cost them anything. So that's how I look at it, is that there's a lot that is exchanged from that soap opera called The Royal Family. And if the American media want access to that international brand called the House of Windsor, then they have to play along. And so that's the best explanation I can give. Thank you so much, Sonia Johnson. I will see you guys over at the Duchess of Success. Let me see. Yep. Don't blame the Sussexes. Ferda Sanchez, I didn't know you were in here. And Anastasia Isabella, Sussex Global UK. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. I'm so glad you're here, but we're just about done. I'm fixing to wrap it up. I'm about to wrap it up like a mini pearl hat with the label on it. And if you guys don't know, the reason why Minnie Pearl, I guess she was like a vaudevillian. The reason why she would keep the tag on the hat is because, you know, back in those days when you would buy stuff from the Sears Roebucks, you could take it back if you still had that label on it, unconditional money back guarantee. So she kept a label on the hat. At least this is what I'm guessing. I don't know this officially, but I think it was part of like a running joke where she could always take that hat back if she wanted to. So that was part of her thing, was to come out on the stage with that label price tag on her hat. So that was part of her gimmick. Just like the Countess of Wessex likely keeps the tags inside of those garish gowns that she wears in case she ever wants to take them back. Has she ever heard of 18-hour protection? Does she even get the concept that there is an 18 hours worth of protection that she can use? You know, even if there's wires involved, you know, if they can span the Straits of Gibraltar. Wait, no, they don't have a bridge there. If they can span you know what I mean, the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever, then they can offer her 18 hours of protection. I'm sure of that. Let me see. She wants to cover. Yes, Amy Robot with that thing with, yes, I do recall that. I think about that every time. That was one reason why ABC killed that story, they allegedly, is because the royal family said, well, Kate and William are taking a tour of the U.S. This was back in 2011. And if you want access, well, you know what to do. And they did. And consequently, Amy Robach is always on call when there's a trip to the UK. She's like the official correspondent for the royal family when they have those occasions. So quid pro quo, who's to say? All right, you guys, see you over at Ian's. Thank you so much. I am going to give out my usual daily expression of love to our faves. And that, of course, is, oh yeah, let me get rid of Minnie. That, of course, is the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Everything. And people are speculating that Doria may actually feature in the up-and-coming documentary. I just want Doria to be safe and happy. But if she does make an appearance, I'd be even happier still. All righty then. Okay, so, thank you so much. Yes, the list. Okay, thank you very much for your generous donations today. Okay. Let me see here. Lorna Castellanos, thank you so much. Official Lauren Brown, Leona Brown, John Newbold, Shelly L, and Shelly L, and Shelly L. and of course, Elaine Parker, R.G. Teschner, Alan Vernon, Phyllis Brooks, Legs, Sheila McKay, Sheila Clemens McKay. I'm so tongue-tied today. I'm so sorry, you guys. D'Amico Hinman, Jackie Sussex Squad, Netherlands, Connie Balmer, and Annette Ricard. Thank you all very much for your generosity. And as always, thank you all for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, wow. Let me see. Wow, I got a couple of packages in my box. I got to go over to the store. Probably won't do it today, though. Too much traffic on a Friday. I'll go tomorrow. All right, you guys. Are they open tomorrow, though? I might have to go today, huh? All right, so let's see here. What am I doing? Oh, yes. Ginger Avenger. It is time to cue Ginger Avenger. Cookies and cream. Hello to you. Okay, 914 people. I am so done for the day. Oh, Nash Singby, thank you so much. I got a gift from you, didn't I? You know what? I'm going to post those tomorrow. I promise I am. I have to do that tomorrow. But yeah, I am going to post my thank yous and everything. So I greatly appreciate it. Okay. So Anne is on, right? You guys, let me see. Oh, yes, she's on. All right, you guys, I'm going to go over there so I can watch. I see y'all. And yes, I got your message, Lydia. I will work that out. Thank you so much for your help. Diane Hawkins, I didn't know you were here. I didn't even know you were here. I haven't even seen your name on here for a while, now that I think about it. Nasipo, hello to you. Okay. Olivia Harris, I don't think I've seen your name for a while. Okay, very cool. All right, you guys. So long, peoples, and have a great weekend, everybody. I am going to sign out now. Thank you. Love you guys. There we go.